Lemongrass is a fantastic herb. It's great in soups and teas, and it's full of antioxidants. But I'm going to spend the rest of this video convincing you never to buy it again. Don't worry, I'm not saying stop using it, but this plant is such a vigorous grower that all you need to do is plant it once, and you'll be able to have as much as you can ever use. I mean, look at this plant right here. I took this from a 4-inch pot. I divided it in half and I put half in the ground, and my dogs keep that trimmed down to a nub for me. They love it. But this one grew up in a 12-inch pot, and look at it. It's just screaming to get out. It's so root bound. Today I'm going to show you how to divide a lemongrass plant so that you have multiple plants instead of just the one that you started with. So you start with all the basic potting things. You need a couple of pots and some soil and some digging tools, and put down lots of paper because this is messy work. I'm also including some of my homemade compost that I just finished up, just to give it a good start, and some coffee filters to put in the bottom of the pots so the soil doesn't creep out. Are you ready? Here we go. The first step, of course, is to take it out of the pot, and look at that mat of roots at the bottom. Boy, this really needs to be done. I like to shake off as much of the soil as I can so that I can kind of see what I'm doing. The next step is that I cut it into sections. I like to use a bread knife because the serrated edge seems to be able to cut through without ripping everything up. You have to work pretty hard at it, but you also need to be delicate so that you don't destroy the roots that you're trying to save. And by the way, the ones you're trying to save are the ones that look about like thin spaghetti. There are some little hair-like roots that you're never going to keep. Just do your best and get as much as you possibly can. Think combing out a 5-year-old girl's hair after she's been playing all day, or untangling a snarl in a fishing line. Here's what I got before I got really bored of working with it. I had 2 big sections and then 7 or 8 single stalks. So let's work with the 2 big sections first, and then we'll handle the single ones afterwards. This part of it is kind of like planting a bare root tree because it is more or less a bare root plant. So make a cone in the pot or the area that you're going to plant it. Make a little dress out of the roots, pull those apart, and just put them in there and start filling in soil and shaking it and filling it in until it's all put together all the way up to the top. And then make sure you give it a good drink of water to settle the roots. Now that almost looks like the plant that I took out of it, and it's less than half the size. I did the other big section in the same way, only I put it into the ground. So now that those are done, let's look at the little individual stalks. They have pretty long roots on them. They're about 6 or 8 inches long, each one. And I bet you're probably wondering how we're going to get those into those little pots. Here's the finished product, all standing up nicely. And here's how I did it. I take several of them and just lay them along the side after I filled the pot halfway with soil, and then just kind of tuck the roots in. Just get them growing downwards. You don't have to worry about being perfect. Cover them with soil and leave them loose so you can move them around a little bit. From there, start on the outer edge of the pot and start filling in with soil, and just keep filling and tucking and filling and tucking until they stand up straight. So now that they're standing up all nice and straight, give them a good drink of water and put them in a sunny spot near the house where you put all your other babies that need some daily care. Now I'm armed with 3 new plants plus the one that I started out with. So I've got all the lemongrass I can use. You could do this too. All you have to do is buy 1 little plant, and then please don't ever buy lemongrass again.